Love that. And
Yeah.
that album, which you're taking on the road, and what I read about it was Brian, one of Brian's favorite albums. I read an article, it's an interview in like the '90s, saying that was one of his most creatively freeing albums. And I'm curious if you have any remembrances, of recording that album or the genesis of that album that might, inspire these songs that you're going to take on the road.
Yeah, well, it was really a dedication from Carl and Dennis is how it began in the brothers, I should say, collaborated together to make an album. And I was really kind of on the periphery at the time. I wasn't there for the tracking, but of course I sang
Yeah.
the vocals. And I remember enjoying Honkin' Down the Highway. Again, an uplifting, sappy little song that puts a smile on your face.
That's a great
And,
song. And I love it.
that just, and I'd like to stay with the happy stuff right now. And,
Absolutely.
and those are my memories anyway of, honking down the highway and, Ding Dang, of course, that crazy little thing. Of course, that came from another completely different era, but but they all coalesced kind of nicely together. And good timing, of course, or good time, not good timing, good time, and things like that. I'm focusing on right now.
I love that. And Ding Dang to me is a little classic. And I didn't know the backstory of that until recently. I didn't realize that Roger McGuinn from the Byrds
Hmm.
wrote those lyrics, and it Brian
Well,
said, yeah,
wrote,
the lyric,
wrote the
the
lyric.
words.
There aren't lyrics. There's a lyric. So I called Brian one day and I said, there's a song it's been going through my head. I said, why don't we, maybe we should finish it. It's just a demo, but in my head, right? But I'd totally forgotten we even recorded it to that degree because it's been so long and I hadn't actually heard the album in probably 30 years. And, and it turned out to be Ding Dang. But I said, but there's no chorus. There's no verse. I mean, there's no what we call the B section, I
Yeah,
guess you call
yeah.
it. So I said, why don't we just? So I sang it over the phone to him. He said, yeah, that's a great idea, you know. Or actually, he wasn't that thrilled, but he thought it was a good idea. Uh,
I love that.
but I didn't know it was Ding Dang. That's what I'm trying to say. He did, but I didn't.
I
But he didn't enlighten me either. He just vaguely said, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." So I added a four chord, meaning I gave it a little chorus right in the middle, and we'll do that on stage,
I love
uh,
that.
and we'll complete. It'll be like a complete version, as it were, musically that way, and I think it'll be charming.
That's amazing. I hope you end up recording that, or that gets recorded live, and we get to be able to hear some of this. For those who don't get to see the shows.
I know it would be fun. We won't be. By the way, we're not doing the whole album.
No, I know. It's select songs.
It's going to be abbreviated, and even to the extent that uh, the abbreviation might be abbreviated for all I know. But and this is a suggested set list that you're reading from. So we'll see
Under-
how it turns out. But it'll be really great.
Understood. And I want to ask you one more question on Ding Dang, because in the many brilliant tributes that came out to Brian over the last couple of days, I mean, there's been so many of them and so many stories that have been part of Beach Boys lore, and others that may be part of the lore, but I didn't really know. And one that I read over and over again was Brian's love for the song Shortnin' Bread.
Yeah.
Mickey Dolenz did a remembrance where he was tripping on acid, and Brian would just play Shortnin' Bread all night long. Uh, there's, an, there's another one where he
It's
played
funny.
for Alice Cooper and freaked Alice Cooper out. And I want to, and then then when I read from that was you said that his love for Shortnin' Bread might have inspired Ding Dang. So I want to understand why Shortnin' Bread connected so deeply with Brian. What is it in
I
that
don't know.
song?
That's a good question. He enjoyed playing that riff. With Brian, it's all about the riff.
Yeah.
And once he gets started, once he gets started, he doesn't, well, of course he was probably high on something because that's why he went over to Roger's house.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and same with Shortnin Bread. He'll get locked in. Be My Baby, the same thing. He would play that incessantly until, you know, the sun went down, and we would just smile. It'd be kind of, he'd want to drag it out. We're in the middle of doing something else, a session of whatever we were working on, and he would start playing Shortnin Bread, and I don't know where that came from, but it was, I'm sure, drug induced at the time, and which is, it was fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but a little too much Phil Spector, on in the repetitive nature of it for me. He was just, he worshipped Phil, and of course the voice of Ronnie Spector. That's what he was really into, and he had to hear that over and over again. And I think that's where it was coming from.